Hey there, I'm Carolyn Wheeler from CDub Web Design and Marketing. Thanks for joining me today for this presentation of how to level up your website. Hello, and welcome to How to Level Up Your Website. I'm Carolyn Wheeler, principal of CDub Web Design and Marketing. I'm glad you could join me today to learn about how to improve your website's performance, drive traffic, and increase conversions so that you can make more sales. By the end of this presentation, you'll learn how design and content not only make a compelling website, but also a successful website. We'll go more into what a successful website means later. You'll also learn actions you can take to make improvements to your site, and you'll see that many of them are small tweaks that can be impactful for your business. You'll also learn how to conduct a website audit to ensure that your site supports your overall business goals. Before we get into the content, I'd like to tell you a bit more about CDub Web Design and Marketing and my background. I started my company to help solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, and anyone in between grow their businesses. Many of my clients, whether they're just starting out or have been in business for a few years, struggle with marketing, in particular, branding, strategy, and content. Let's face it, it's not easy to sell yourself and what product or service you provide. This may even be a pain point for you, which is why you're watching me now. And I hope I can ease it. CDub Web Design and Marketing offers website development and marketing consulting. We also provide training in these areas so that you're empowered to do it yourself. So basically, you can hire us to do the work for you, or you can learn on your own through our programs. Either way, we're here to support you and your business success. My background is marketing, communication, and media, and I've been doing this work for over 20 years. So now let's get started on how you can level up your website. Everyone knows that it's important to have a business website. You may think this is obvious, but there are many businesses out there that have zero web presence. They've built their businesses on Facebook or Instagram platforms, and that's it. Sure, they may get a lot of engagement and even sales, but what would happen if Facebook or Instagram suddenly shut down? Would these businesses have the emails of their engaged followers? Would their fans be able to find them and enjoy their content if these social platforms disappeared? Consider this as well. Those social platforms own all of your content. While you technically retain ownership of any content you post to social media, you've also allowed the platforms to store, copy, and share it with others. Just look at their terms of service. And you don't have control over how it's used. When you take those things into consideration, you'll see why, or you can see why, it's so important that you stand up your own home on the web. Your website essentially functions as a centralized marketing hub. People are driven to your site from Google search or social media. Then they stick around for solutions and engaging content. Maybe they'll even share their email with you so they can get more information. Also, your visitors will come back regularly because you're helpful to them and they trust you. Eventually, you can convert these visitors to paid customers. If you don't currently have a website, I hope I've convinced you why you need one if you're serious about your business. But what if you have a website and it doesn't work for you like I just described? Then there's a good chance that there's a problem with your content in your site's design or user interface. These two elements on your website are what engages your audience, builds relationships with them, and leads them to take the action you want them to take. An effective website accomplishes all of these things. Let's discuss how to perform a website audit to determine changes you can make now to improve your site's performance. The first thing you should do when performing a site audit is to define or refine your target audience because it informs the design and content on your site. Beyond just demographics, you'll need to determine your target audience's pain points, attitudes, and behaviors. Then you can define the messages, design, or look and feel that would resonate with them and compel them to take the action that you want. Continuing on with design, does your site look like it was created in GeoCities? Those of you of a certain age may remember this web platform from the 90s. If you've got flashing and spinning graphics, it's probably time to leave them back in 1999 where they belong and do a site update. Today's websites make the most of white space, professional photography, or even stock photography works too. Simple color palettes, beautiful graphics, easy to read fonts, and responsive design. And by responsive design, I mean that it's mobile friendly. Most people look at websites today on their mobile phones or tablets. You need to ensure that your site looks good on not only a desktop, but on these types of devices as well. You'll also want to look at the flow of your site. In other words, is it easy to navigate? Are visitors able to get to the pages they need, or do they have to click around to find what they want? You want your site to leave a positive impression on visitors, not turn them off. Every page on your website has a job. For example, your homepage should direct people to the specific information they're looking for. Your product or services page should lead people to buy. Your blog provides helpful information about your products or services and establishes you as a thought leader in your niche. This is why it's very important to define a purpose for each page of your website. Quality content ensures that your site is the go to place for information. Each page should offer content that gives helpful information about your company. However, it's not enough to just explain your offerings. You should also tell visitors how your product or services solve their problems. That's how you earn their trust and potentially gain new clients. As you go through your content, make sure everything is current. When reviewing pages, you might want to do some light editing and tweaks in the text. Correct any typos you find and keep an eye out for anything that's inaccurate or off brand. Ensure links are still active and don't go to dead pages like those dreaded 404 error pages. You also want to include clear calls to action on your site. Tell visitors exactly what they need to do in order to receive the benefits you offer. Actions may include buying products, signing up for your email list, downloading a product sheet, following you on social media, or commenting on a blog post. If you don't lead your site visitor to action, you're wasting a valuable opportunity for customer engagement. Look at your website data or analytics. Google's free analytics tool is more than enough for this purpose. It will help you analyze data on your visitors and give you insights that will help you tweak your site to support your business goals. If you've identified a purpose for each page, you can track whether visitors are doing what you want them to do when they come to your site. Are they following through on your calls to action? Are they spending time reading your blog posts? Use the data that you find to make improvements as necessary. Adding a few functions to your site can help with conversions. These options are webinars unto themselves, but I mention them because they will indeed take your website to the next level. As you audit your site, see if any of these functions could help with traffic and conversions. For example, setting up an email form with a lead magnet is a great way to capture potential customers. This may seem elementary, but I've come across some small business websites that don't have this. It's fairly easy to set up and is integral to your overall marketing strategy. Another option is having a viable shopping cart. And by viable, I mean not just a PayPal buy now button. If you plan on selling goods or services, you need a safe way to conduct financial transactions. Your customers expect that. Options include WooCommerce, which is for WordPress, and Shopify, to name a few. There are many other e commerce options out there. Those two tend to be the top two. But if you're selling goods and services on your site, whether physical or digital, you need a safe way to conduct a financial transaction, and having an e commerce solution is the best way to do that. Landing pages are special pages that are created for a specific marketing campaign. Landing pages have one focus or call to action and help you with acquiring leads. An example is a registration page for a webinar. Whereas your homepage has a lot of jumping off points to other areas of your site, a landing page has information about one thing with one specific action to take. If you're running a campaign, it's best practice to create a landing page for it because you're most likely to get the conversions, purchases, registrations, signups, for example, that you want. Again, I've just scratched the surface of these options, and there are many more available to you. When you work with us, these are considerations we'll put to you depending on your business and marketing goals. So, these are some things to consider during your website audit. Keep in mind that the purpose of an audit isn't just to have a lens into your site's performance. Ultimately, you want to use the findings to develop a strategy for your site that supports your overall business goals. After completing your analysis, create a detailed action plan on what improvements you'll make to increase engagement and convert visitors to customers. How often should you do a site review? Well, the best practice is to conduct one annually, but an ongoing audit throughout the year, for example, quarterly, can help you optimize your site, and it can't hurt. Does this seem like a lot? Well, it is, but it's necessary and worth it. However, have no fear because CDub Web Design and Marketing can help you. We're offering a free website audit and consultation for a limited time. Here's what you do. Send an email to info@cdubwebdesign.com with free website audit in the subject line. In the email message, include your name, business name, and a link to your website so that we can review it. We'll then follow up with you to set up a 30-minute review session and give you feedback on what you can do to improve your site. There's no obligation to purchase services from us, but of course, we hope you will. And if you are interested in our services, check out our marketing makeover packages at cdubwebdesign.com/marketing makeover for more information. Here's how to get in touch with us on the screen, and be sure to follow us and like us on LinkedIn. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope this has been helpful to you as you think more about how to level up your website and drive business. I'll have more webinars on website and marketing strategy coming your way soon. If there's a specific topic that you'd like me to cover, please email me at info@cdubwebdesign.com. Thanks for watching.